I don't have very much time at all between movies if I'm gonna go and see God's Not Dead 2 for the 5th time on time. I just saw Hello, My Name is Doris, and it was just a charming movie and a charming experience. The theater was full. I was the youngest woman there. It was just full of elderly women, and you know, the movie is just, it's pure charm, and I thought that there were messages in that for me, because of course I'm older than my indigos, and it's kind of funny because what happens to her getting embraced by a group of young hip people is kind of what happened to me in Humble, and except, you know, I'm a little hipper. Of course, you know, nobody can outdress Doris, especially with that 80s neon thing going on. You have to see this movie. It's adorable, and you know, take your mom, take your aunt, take your grandma. It was just a really beautiful movie about following your heart, and even though she does some things that aren't right, and you know, gets her heart broken, she also grows and becomes younger as a result of it, and finds herself, finds her way. My hair is in my face, sorry. I just have the one, because this one's holding glasses, it's got the cast, it's holding all kinds of crap. So anyway, yeah, she gives herself a second chance at life, and it's romantic love that does it, even though the romance doesn't seem to go anywhere. We don't really know at the end, and sorry, that was a complete spoiler with no warning. I'm kind of an asshole that way sometimes. It was, oh, and it was just, I had this group of ladies come in and sit next to me, and the one sitting right next to me was, she was at least in her 70s, and she giggled, and she just thought it was so funny, and she was just delighted by it, and that was delightful to me. So it made the movie even more delightful to be surrounded by women who were, you know, giggling over this woman and her romantic fantasies, and there was just a lot about that movie that was very charming. So all right, going into God's Not Dead 2 for the 5th time, and we'll see if God has any new insights for this movie. I go because I want to hear the music, I want to see my newsboys, and I want to see them prove the existence of Jesus Christ on the stand. Jesus and I really like that part. And it's interesting because at the end they show this whole list of people who have stood up for themselves in court for Christ, so to speak, and some of them are, you know, things I would support, and other things are homophobic. It's like half of them are homophobic people standing up for homophobia in the name of Christ, and it's just fucking sad. But you know, I get it. They don't understand. They're just trying to obey the good old dusty, stinky, musty, moldy Bible. So yeah, when the Bible does shit like that, no, I have no respect for it. Yeah, get the cross ready now, whatever. I get my information from direct revelation, and I know that I will be backed up by the words of Jesus. I know there are going to be things in the Bible that contradict some of the things that I teach, and I don't know how God's going to handle that, but he will. And the one thing I do know is that homophobia is evil, and so I will be addressing that. And I don't blame people for homophobia. I was raised homophobic. My family was homophobic. We made all kinds of homophobic jokes. And so that's why God, you know, dropped a double whammy on me and had me fall in love with a woman at the beginning of my spiritual awakening. Then I really learned how to not be homophobic. I wasn't homophobic at that point at all. When I got to college, you know, all I wanted to do was, you know, advocate for gays. It's not a divergent topic, it is the topic, because of course, again, that is the subject that is dividing the United Methodist Church right now. And everything else in that package was beautiful. I think what they're doing is beautiful. The sexuality issue is the issue, and it is the one that is dividing my church, and it will be settled. God made it real easy by making the Messiah queer. I am bisexual. I am equally attracted to men and women, and I'm kinky. I've been involved with the BDSM community. Look it up. And the only rule God has for the people on this planet is that sex should be safe, sane, and consensual. Again, these are our toys to play with. So, that's probably not going to be a stance that's going to easily integrate into the whole Christian church, but, you know, we'll do it one step at a time. I don't want to come in and completely radicalize the church overnight, even though I kind of seem like the kind of person that would do that. I know better than that. I want to do this gracefully. I love the fact that it doesn't look like I'm going to have to come out to anyone except for the teachers, the influencers, and then you, will influence your groups. And so I will work, Trevor, with your homophobia, and then you will find graceful ways to introduce tolerance to your congregation. With my help, absolutely. But I don't want to take your congregation. I have a church, remember? Twitter, The River, @IndigoMission. I don't want to take your congregation. I don't want to take your stage. I really don't. It doesn't appeal to me at all. I love being behind the scenes. I'm the Christ. I am used to being an enormous non-physical energy which simply influences everything toward the highest good. So that's actually how I feel the most comfortable, is being behind the scenes, influencing everything toward the highest good. So just because I'm in a physical body doesn't mean I can't still work that way. That's what I'm figuring out anyway. That's certainly what it looks like to me. And that's certainly how I would prefer it to be. So I'm hoping that God keeps it going in that direction. I really like the direction it's going in. All right, it's time for me to get back in and see my 5th showing of God's Not Dead 2. And I will probably play my music, got my earbuds, during the movie, because now that I've seen it a few times, I do that. With one earbud in, I watch the movie and listen to my own music, because there's not enough music in that movie. Needs more music. It's my biggest complaint about it. Again, it has its flaws, and I don't know, maybe today God will talk about those. I don't know. It's not up to me what I talk about after the movies. God speaks. God gives me what insights need to be shared after the movie. It's just like everything else in life. It's all just a trigger for God to put something into my conscious awareness so that I can share it with others. So until I get that trigger, I'm just a vessel. I'm just open and available. So I'm gonna go be open and available. Check in with you later.